She will be our last climber, all tops out the route. Now, usually we look back to semi-finals, but we can't do that. Well, this 3D shape of it, 15 metres high, dominates the space, 10 metres overhanging. There it is. And it is, I mean, look, when you look at this thing, it feels quite intimidating.
Definitely. Definitely feels more intimidating than climbing on an indoor wall.
Absolutely. Well, this is the women's route. It winds its way up. Starting down low on those yellow holds. The aim of lead climbing, if you're new to the sport, start at the bottom and hopefully top it out. That crimpy section, that's been made slightly harder because of that time factor to try to induce some more falls. The purple bit is just a bit of a burner.
Weather training over the last couple of weeks to try and get prepared for this summer tour, because you know it's not very warm in the UK, is it?
Warm weather training sounds awful. I can't imagine anything worse.
It's horrendous.
Yeah. Well, Vita is underway. And you can see she's going to clip the quick draw. She needs to clip every single quick draw on the way up. And unlike bouldering, if you get to the final hold where it's not done there, you've still got to clip that quick draw. So keep an eye on that.
I think that's a new rule for this year as well. You have to clip. We have to go to the final hold to get the full amount of points.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah, and clip that quick draw. So it's there's a lot to do at the top of the board.
Yeah, I mean before people might have skipped the last move if it was tricky and just clip the chains, but now you really have to do every single bit of climbing.
So Vita starts upwards, and I know the route setters have tried to eliminate rests from this route, but all of you women are so good at resting, especially those ridiculous high heel positions.
I know, the women's field is so flexible.
And Vita, well, there we go, straight away with that high heel, and she's good at resting in these positions.
She is. Vita's someone who looks completely boxed and like she's about to fall off, and she will just rest and fight and rest and fight. It's so impressive.
So she matches, oh, but we have seen an early slip from Vita Lucan. See it bumping into that left hand.
Looks tricky already. They've definitely not given the women an easy introduction to the route.
They're really not. It was a complicated start yesterday, but it didn't look particularly hard, whereas this looks hard.
Yeah, this is hard and complex. It's quite interesting how routes have changed over the last couple of years. I used to say that bouldering was the discipline where you needed loads of different skills and routes were a bit more straightforward, but as we just saw with the graphics, the routes broken down into different sections of power, complexity, more endurance, and now you really need it all.
Oh, and she just gets that. Look at those fingertips on the hold. This is the crimpy part of the route, and this is the part that the route setters did tweak a little bit to make it harder. Oh, she goes for the bump, thinks better of it and comes back down.
Looks like she's quite extended off the feet.
Yeah, she is. So those are the white sort of volumes you can see on the wall, the little ones. They're protecting bolts to make sure the athletes don't stand on them. And you don't want to use them. They're totally no texture.
No, but they are a great addition, I think, to avoid the dramas of people standing or not standing on bolts.
That's one of the rules here at the IFSC. You can't stand on a bolt, so it avoids it for the women's route. So Natsuki crosses up, and then she's through pretty cleanly through this crimpy part of the route. Oh, but a foot pop again.
Maybe it is the sun.
There's got... Really.
I think it's always super interesting when there's such like power friendships in climbing. Brooke and Natalia clearly have something very special, and I genuinely think it must contribute a lot to their success. Having someone that you trust and care about so much pushing you constantly on the good days and the bad days, I think it's something that all competitors kind of wish they had.
Absolutely. Their training buddy is good to go through it, and Natalia is having to fight here a little bit. This sun, oh, just with the fingers.
A strong drag there.
Yeah, it really is, isn't it? And
into full crimp.
yeah, look at that, locking that off, that right hand.
Definitely looked uncomfortable. This section looks very awkward, and I I bet she's aware of how hot those holds are.
And she'll have known, of course, that the other athletes fell early because she would have come out quicker than she expected.
For sure. And you always grip so much harder.
Oh, Natalia is right on the edge.
Clip.
Oh, and she goes.
Oh, no.
Right, so at this point, with 3 athletes done, and I know that the athletes tend to look up at the wall and see where a swinging quick draw is. And there is actually one midway through, because it's extended, that is swinging around. So I hope she doesn't think that was the point and then underestimates this bottom section.
Yeah, you try not to look, but you always look up at where the draw stops swinging.
So and straight away we see her fall. I mean, that was so quick the camera couldn't keep up. So, and the crowd, as you can hear,
it's just particular, both living here at the moment.
Felt in a couple of moves.
And we've got barely any plus points because everyone's just slipped straight up.
I mean, the flip side of this is if you're an athlete and you're seeing this now, you're thinking, well, look, if I can just pull something out of the bag, I might be in a position for a medal.
Yeah. I wonder whether Brooke's thinking, okay, I need to not mess up like everyone else, or whether she's like, here we go, this is an opportunity.
See how much fight she's got, and she's going to be
good so far.
Yeah, and this right foot though, this is where we lost Natsuki. So she had the right hand on that big purple one, the right foot down.
Nice. And we finally get to see this purple section now.
Well, this is meant to be the easier part, so
okay.
Let's see if it is.
Hopefully some space for Brooke to relax.
Yeah, and
although,
she's on the edge here.
Some inversion. I wonder if this is what was intended.
She's having to battle. It's a big move up to that next dish.
Looks very awkward with the... And we lose Brooke as well.
The next move is a big one. You have to cross all the way up and through, and it's a jump, but it's quite far. What do you mean by a drag when you say a drag?
So a drag is a hand position, and that's where the fingers look almost quite straight. You're not really engaged at all. You're kind of just hanging on your skeleton, really.
Yeah, brilliant description, that, yeah.
Skeleton skin.
That's what they have to go through. So she gets the left foot where that drag was. Right hand on the slope.
Pretty controlled, I'd say.
She's looking good. Well, as Molly said, she watched her training in the sun, so she could be a bit of an expert. She's going to have to be an expert. Looking very steady at the moment as she presses onwards.
Nice. And she's kind of into the safe zone.
Yes, and now it's route reading. Can she work this sequence out? She needs to cross through into it and not get the feet up.
Let's see if she, keeps her feet to the right. This next move looks like it'll be tricky. as well. You've not got anything out on the left for your feet, so maybe we'll get to see a bit of showboat and some campusing.
Well, this is it. It is a campus move. It's like a campus cross through. So you have to commit to it. And you have to have read it properly. So that's 27 plus. So 27.
This hesitant.
Yeah, she's confused as well. Looks at the clock, looks down.
Interacts with the crowd.
And we need it here. I think the crowd was shocked when Jessie fell. They went very silent. We need a bit of hyping up here. Yanya is really taking her time. And look, this is smart, because she'll know everyone fell low. It doesn't necessarily matter if you top a route here.
She's sticking with the low foot.
I think she's going to cross through. She is. Jumps out. Holds it, and that will bump her up.
That's how it's done. And she knows that was the hard section.
Yes, she does, because she will have heard the hype from the crowd.
And if Yanya finds the move hard, well, she knows that everyone else sure has found it hard too.
And she's enjoying, she's relaxed.
Here we go.
Now.
This is the Yanya we all love to watch climbing. Way more flair.
Yeah, she is cruising. Remember, this section is a little easier, so she'll be enjoying this change of pace. I mean, how do you set for someone who comes out and does this? It's crazy.
It must be hard to set for... And now she's looking a bit pumped.
She is, and this is complicated and a bit blind as she comes through. You can see the crimps, the blue screw-ons on those yellow volumes. Yanya loses the feet twice, but stays on.
Must be a bad foot.
Oh, come on, she's still there.
Still fighting. And I think, there we go.
Oh, that's a massive fall as well. Way down to the ground.
And she looks sad. Go, get through this section as quickly as possible.
Exactly, everyone else is barely making that move. Look at her wrestling. Well, fair play. Crosses through with the left, and now into the slopey hold. And it's a long way for her, but she gets it. Brings the foot up to the dish.
She's exceptionally good at a deep lock.
She is, you're right. So she will now clip this, and then the rest that Yanya found is coming up. Interesting to see if she defines it in the same way.
And I wonder how long it'll take Laura to commit to a method for this section.
Oh, she'll have to fight, isn't she? A bit shorter than Janja as well.
And she moves through it.
Right, so she's not really resting, and this is where we think she might have to fight. This is the dynamic part. She doesn't love a dyno or a dynamic move.
She's not got the clip in either.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and here she does go. Well, that was the move she thought she might have a problem with, and it's only going to be good enough. 27 plus, 27 plus.